I am Ron Edwards. I'm a Milwaukee police officer for the city of Milwaukee. I actually grew up here, was born and raised in the city. Richardson Chambers is where I grew up at. I attended Vincent High School. I was raised by my mother, then I had my father, who I didn't live in the house with, but I had 3 sisters and 2 brothers. This area right here, this is the house where my house used to be at, right here. The age I started thinking about becoming a police officer would probably be in my early teens, and it stemmed from watching a lot of police shows as I was growing up. In the year of 2001, it was a setback in my thinking and why I wanted to become a police officer. I lost my brother, Mario Mallet. He died in police custody. Talked it over with a couple family members, and I still decided to pursue my career as a police officer. I took my oath of office in the year of 2006. Fast forward to 2008, I am a police officer now. There's another setback in my family. I lost my brother, Xavier Mallet. His life was taken by a City of Atlanta police officer, but who was off duty at the time, and he mishandled the situation and ended up taking my brother's life. This was the biggest, probably one of the biggest setbacks for me that I had to think about, because now I'm contemplating of leaving law enforcement because it just seems like one after the other. Now I'm feeling like some of the other community members are feeling when they lose a family member to law enforcement. I had to sit back and think after having a conversation with my father, probably the most in-depth conversation that I had ever had with him. And I told him that I was thinking and contemplating on quitting my job. He said, "What about your family? How are you going to support your family?" So I don't know, I'll figure out something, I'll do something. And he says, "Well, why are you doing the job?" So, well, I'm doing the job because I wanted to be a police officer to help the community. So he says, "Linnell, you have to think about why you wanted to do that job and think to yourself, are you doing something irrational?" So I kept moving forward, never looked back. 2009 comes and I lose my father to tragedy. He was the victim of a homicide. It really hit home again, because yet here I am suffering another loss of a family member so close in proximity. My brother's grave, I guess you could say, it is even warm, and now we have to prepare to lay my father to rest. He was a big inspiration in my life. It was kind of hard for me to swallow that pill, and every single day, pretty much, I think about all 3 of them and what happened and how they lost their lives. What helps me cope? Well, my wife helps me cope because she's always there when I need her. And then there's roller skating. I roller skate, I roller skate, I roller skate. I love roller skating. That's one of my key tools that I use to cope with things in life. When it comes to people not believing or thinking that the police are actually humans, I would say that everybody in life has a story. Whether I'm in a uniform, whether I'm sitting here with this on, I have a life story. When I go to somebody's house and I see them and it may not be their best moment, they have a story. Because of the incidents that happened with my 2 brothers, I get a chance to be that person that works from the inside going out. I'm going to do everything I can from within the police department to show it going outward to the community, that things will change and that change can happen. Being able to be out here in the community and people wanting us to be from the community, to police the community, it gives me a sense of accomplishment. When a tragedy happens, maybe somebody died in police custody, or you got a family member that was shot by the police, within myself, it gives me that sense of knowing that I do understand what they're going through, but it'll give them a sense like, he is really, really, really in tune to what I'm going through. I can't say that I'm the best police officer out on the streets doing the job, but I try and be the best.